Alright folks, just wanted to take some time to record a video. So the first one is, this is number 5 from Unit 5. It says a game of chance is played in which X, the number of points scored in each game, has the distribution shown above. What would be the distribution for Y, the difference between two scores? In other words, think about the possible values for Y and the probability of each value. Okay, so the possible values are I could have 0 then 1. Or I'm rolling the dice. I'm playing the game twice, and Y is the difference between the two scores. And we can assume that difference is equal to the first score minus the second score. So I could have a 0 and a 1, I could have a 0 and a 0, I could have a 0 and a 2. I could have a 1 and a 0, I could have a 1 and a 1, I could have a 1 and a 2, I could have a 2 and a 0, a 2 and a 1, a 2 and a 2. Okay, so now what are the possible values for Y? Well, remember Y is the first minus the second. So 0 minus 1, I could have negative 1, I could have negative 2. So negative 2, I could have negative 1, I could have 0, I could have positive 1, or I could have positive 2. These are all the possible values of Y. This one equals negative 1, this equals 0, this equals negative 2, this equals positive 1, 0, negative 1, 2, 1, 0. So there are 9 outcomes here, and we want to know the probability of each one. So the probability of this is going to be the probability of getting a 0 times the probability of getting a 1. So let's go back to our chart. Let's go back to our chart. So I would say probability of X equaling 0 is 0.3. The probability of X equaling 1 is 0.4. The probability X equals 2 is 0.3. So what is the probability of getting this negative 1 right here? Well, it's the probability of a 0. You need to get a 0 and a 1. So it is 0 times 1. So this probability is 0.12. Negative 1 could also be gotten from here. It's the probability of a 1 times 2. This is also 0.12. So the probability of getting a negative 1, which is either this or this, is 0.24. Probability of a negative 2, that's right here. Negative 2 is a 0 and a 2, that's 0.09. What about the probability of a 0? That's here, here, here. This probability is 0 and 0, so that's 0.09. This probability of 1 and a 1 is 0.16. This probability is 0.09. 0.09 plus 0.09 is 0.18, plus 0.16 is 0.34. The probability of rolling a 1, of getting Y equals 1, that's here and here. This probability is 0.12. This probability is also 0.12, so this is 0.24. Probability of getting a 2 is right here, which is 0.09. So here is the distribution for Y. So how did I do this? I said, what are the possible values of Y? 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 2, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, and so on. And what is the probability of each one? And then I just simply computed them. So there is number 5.